how to rest. That's what we're going to talk about in this episode, and it's a topic that a lot of people don't talk about because in society a lot of people now, because of how culture views it, because of how the personal development space has talked about it, because of how entrepreneurship is so glorified, because of how hard work is becoming more and more cool, more and more socially acceptable, that long hustle and work ethic. It's a topic that doesn't get talked about, yet it's actually a vital key for not just for feeling good, but also for achieving something faster over the long term. Most people view rest as a weakness, and for the people like that, for those go-getters, those ambitious people, the hard-working people, this video may change a few things. Not only will help you achieve faster over the long term, but may save you a lot of struggle and stress along the way, as we talk about some keys of how you can rest and recover effectively, modeled off the world's highest achieving people. Welcome to episode 25 of the Accelerated Achievement Show. Rest and recovery. Some people view it as a weakness. They view it as something that's gonna hold them back. That's something that's gonna slow them down from going and getting their goals, from achieving their goals. They view us as time that is wasted, that rest and recovery. Yet in fact, if we go and study the people that have achieved, not just over the short term, not just they go and achieve and then they burn out and they crash when it comes to, for example, athletes or business owners or entrepreneurs or artists or singers or painters, whatever topic or industry it is, the people that are able to sustain high levels of achievement place a high level of priority on this, on rest and recovery. They take care of themselves because they think long term. They know that in the short term, rest may actually slow them down, because it does. It takes time to rest that you could spend working and hustling and grinding at whatever you want to achieve. It takes time away from the hard work to rest and recover. It's why a lot of people don't do it, and then eventually over time burn out and go and suffer a lot because of that mindset around rest and recovery, compared to the people that achieve not just over a few months or even a few years, but over decades, are able to outperform others in pretty much all topics, skills, industries and professions. Place a higher priority on this. They think long term. They know that rest in the short term might take time away from them, but in the long term will help them. It's also how a lot of people view health. But how do you rest effectively? Because even a topic as simple and straightforward as rest and recovery is something that we need some nuanced understanding to. And it's something I want to share with you, the 3 keys to effective rest and recovery, modeled off, once again, the world's best at what they do. The people that go and achieve extraordinary results and sustain them over the long term. So the first key, effective rest and recovery, and as you're watching this, make sure you're thinking about it, make sure you're really processing, make sure you're really focused on this, because it could save you burnout along the way if a lot of people knew this, and if you knew this. So the first key here is intentional rest. Number 1, your rest must be intentional. A lot of people think to themselves, hey, I'll rest when I have nothing else to do. And when do they have nothing else to do? Never. Hence they don't rest until they get sick, or until they burn out, or until they have no energy left in the tank. It's like driving your car and waiting until your car stops, run out of gas completely, before going and pumping it back up with whatever fuel is in your car. It's not the most effective. Same applies to our body and our energy when we're going and pursuing our dreams, pursuing the things we want in our business, in our health, in our relationships, in our goals and dreams, in our travel, in our lifestyle. When we're pursuing our dreams, we have to take time to intentionally rest. In fact, many of the world's highest achieving athletes that achieve the most over the long term are those who have coaches specifically just to help them rest effectively. An entire person's job on their team that they pay is just to help them rest effectively. Their coach's job, one of their primary roles, is to do that. They're very intentional about it. They know that they may not want to rest, but they need to. Hence, they set aside time. They consistently do it. It's often scheduled. It's rarely missed. And they go and do it very sequentially, very intentionally, very mindfully. And it's not that way of thinking that, for example, a lot of people for example, top level CEO or executive jobs where they just work and work and work and work until they burn out. Their thinking is, hey, I'll stop when I'm done, or I'm stop when I have nothing else to do, or I'll stop when I feel like it. And then they never do because they're conditioned to work hard, which is great, but it needs to be balanced with rest and recovery, strategic rest and recovery. So number one, intentional. Question for you, are you being intentional about your rest? Are you intentionally scheduling it, make sure it gets done? That's number one, intentional. Number two, your rest must be intervaled. Some people, they go and work extremely hard for a long period of time and then take a whole chunk of time off. Firstly, if you love what you do, you won't want to take a huge amount of time off. You'll rather take shorter periods of time off more frequently. You'll rather take 8 one-week holidays during the year instead of one long one where you're not allowed to work for 2 months. If you love what you do, that's number one. Number two, it shows us continually, productivity studies show us that's more effective to go and take shorter rest time, recovery time, but more frequently than it is to take long periods of time. Work for 8-9 months and then take 3 months off, no focus on your work or career. It's better to go and schedule these consistently. Take these mini retirements during your life instead of that big retirement at the end of your life when you're already burned out and you don't already have the energy to go and really do the things that you want to do. Hence, is your rest and recovery intervaled? Not just intentional, number one, but is it intervaled? Are you doing it frequently? And often maybe you can cut it down and do it more frequently, shorter periods of time, but more often. And productivity studies show us taking these short breaks. In fact, even taking a 5-minute break after an hour of work goes and shows that it increases productivity, increases your efficiency when you're doing that, when you're taking these small breaks during, even going and just sitting down or walking, standing up and stretching for 5 minutes after a period of time of work will help ramp up your performance as you're giving yourself, your mind, not just your body. Body is easy to feel that it's fatigued, but your mind also gets fatigued, giving it time to rest. So number one, is your rest intentional? Number two, is it intervaled? Number three, this is a huge one, is it immersive? There's a lot of people, maybe you know just like I do, who even when they go and rest, even when they go and recover, when they're going off and taking time off to recover and get their energy back, during that time, they're still thinking about their to-do list and their career and their business. All this stuff is still buzzing through their mind and they're never really resting. Even when they go to sleep, they can't tune out. They're still thinking about all this stuff. Hence, their rest is never actually focused. It's not focused rest and it's not as valuable. Just like effective sleep is sleep that's deep, which is deep into our REM cycle, which is immersive when we're not thinking about many things and distracted by many things. In that same way, our rest. How can we make it more focused? Where when you're resting fully. You're resting full out. You work hard, but then you go and rest hard. Rest immersively, rest fully. And when these 3 keys, when you apply this to your rest, you're able to, in a short term, it may slow you down on a day-to-day basis. But over the long term, whatever your dream, your ambition is, whatever your fuel is that drives you to get out of bed in the morning, over the long term, it will help you achieve that and help you sustain energy. We know from the study of the world's highest achieving people, as well as studies in neuroscience and psychology and human behavior, as well as many other topics of research and study, we know consistently that the world's highest achieving people place a higher level of priority on their energy and care about themselves more, as in their body, their energy, their physical and mental state. They place a higher level of attention on it, hence they're able to improve it and accelerate it and achieve faster. Hence, this is a little different episode. It's not about working harder and pushing harder, and rest allows you to do that in the long term, but in the short term, this episode is about actually take time off. Give yourself time off, because productivity studies show it actually makes it more effective, and in the long term, it stops you from burnout. And there are keys to resting. Even a topic as simple as rest and recovery, there are keys to do it effectively. Ask yourself, is your rest intentional? Is it intervaled? And is it immersive? Are you doing it full out? Or while you're resting, you're still thinking about all these things, your long-ass to-do list that you still haven't completed, and you're just stressed out during your rest. Intentional, intervaled, immersive. Go and implement it to help you sustain higher levels of performance and push yourself harder and work hard and achieve your dreams faster over the long term, even though it may take away in the short term. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you like and comment below with your biggest takeaway. What did you learn from this? Comment below with that. Like this and share it out with someone, especially if someone needs it. Especially if you know people, for example, who are high-level CEOs or high-level executives or athletes or coaches or people that just work and never give themselves time, and they need this content. Share it out with them. And stay tuned for more episodes of this show, which is designed, crafted to help you accelerate and improve and optimize what you do, so you're able to take those dreams, those things you wake up and you think about and you dream about. How are you going to achieve those faster? Built on the latest research, built on the study and the research on the world's highest achieving people, and grounded in practicality. What can you do right now to improve your odds of success and improve your progress to success, your process to success? So if you like this, like, comment, share. Make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for more episodes of the Accelerated Achievement Show.
Achievement accelerated with the Accelerated Achievement Show.